Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's topic. Today, we will discuss the poem Childhood, written by Marcus Nathan, and this is the syllabus of Class 11 from their main course reader, Hornbill. Before we jump to the poem, I would like you to take a minute or so and go through this picture and recollect those nostalgic moments of childhood. I hope you remember the games that you played as children. The variety of pictures here, they offer us different aspects of childhood, those moments of happiness and joy and friendship and learning as children. And I think it is these beautiful moments that we miss when we miss our childhood. Our poet Marcus Nathan was a Norwegian poet, and the most striking feature about his writing this poem Childhood is he wrote this poem when he turned 12. So, how real is his emotion in the poem? Because he's not writing as a grown up looking back at childhood, but he's writing himself expressing his own emotions of losing his childhood. The entire poem talks about a child's perspective when a child is trying to understand and rationalize as to when and where his childhood has gone. Let's get started with the poem. When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography and therefore could not be? Was that the day? So, in these lines, which is the first stanza of the poem, the writer is questioning rather that what is the time that he was no more a child? Was it the day when he ceased to be 11? Was it the day when he had finished his 11th birthday? Was it the time when he realized that heaven and hell could not be found in geography? So, was it the day when he realized that heaven and hell was not found in geography books, and because it was not found in the geography book, they did not have any existence? Was that the day? So he's again trying to emphasize that was that the day when he realized that heaven and hell was not found in geography books, that he thought he was no more a child. It also shows us that how education makes the poet question his faith and look at the world more rationally. He gained he lost his childhood when he gained a very rational outlook towards the world and the things that the world is teaching a child. When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love, but did not act so lovingly. Was that the day? In the second stanza, the poet recalls a time when he realized that adults, they talked of love, they preached of loving each other, but they themselves did not practice what they preached. The poet feels that the loving and the caring lessons that the parents give is not true because they themselves don't follow it. They have been preaching, sermonizing about being good, about being loving and caring towards each other. But when it comes to practicing them, the adults don't do it. So this shows that the poet has understood the hypocrisy of the adults, the grown ups, that how they teach something else to the child, but they themselves don't practice it. And the poet feels that this is the time when he understood the hypocrisy of the adults, the grown up, that he was no more a child. When did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine to use whichever way I choose, producing thoughts that were not those of other people but mine and mine alone? Was that the day? In these lines, again, the poet is trying to understand and comprehend as to when did he lose his childhood. He feels that he was no more a child when he understood that his mind was really mine. He understood that he had a well functioning brain which could generate ideas that was his own and not of someone else. He could understand that he could take decision for himself and he could choose whatever he wanted to. He had an individual self. He understood his own individuality. He understood that he need not always follow the thoughts of other people, the grown ups, or the people around him, because now he has realized his potential, the potential of his brain in producing thoughts and seeing very rationally at things. Stanza 4. Where did my childhood go? It went to some forgotten place that is hidden in an infant's face. That's all I know. In these lines, in the fourth stanza, if you see, the question has changed. In the first three stanzas, the question was, when did my childhood go? So it was focusing on the time when he lost his childhood. But here, he's questioning that where has his childhood gone? And the answer to this is it has gone to some forgotten place from where his childhood cannot come back. And he cannot go back to his childhood. And this forgotten place could be an infant's face. So that his childhood is now hidden in an infant's face. That's the only thing that he knows, that he cannot revisit his childhood, and now he can find childhood only in an infant's face and nowhere else. As we read the poem, we come to know that the poet is in a dilemma. And the question is, when did he lose his childhood? Was it when he was 11? Or was it when he understood that heaven and hell is not found in geography book and that's why they do not exist? When did he lose his childhood? He's not yet answered the question. And he feels he lost his childhood when he realized that the adults were hypocrites. They advised to be loving and caring towards each other, but they themselves were hardly affectionate. Again, the same question resurfaces, when did the poet lose his childhood? And he feels that he lost his childhood when he realized that he was the master of his mind. He could take his own decisions. He could he need not depend on someone else for decision making or getting ideas, because his own brain was now capable of generating new ideas. And also, when a sense of individuality came over him, when he realized he as an individual was capable of doing a lot of things. Where has the poet's childhood gone? It has gone to some forgotten place which is hidden in an infant's face. His childhood is gone forever, it cannot come back, and now he can only find childhood in an infant's face. As we have understood through the poem, the poet talks about, or is rather questioning, the time, the place where he has lost his childhood. Childhood is a very precious stage of innocence, it's a very precious stage of life, and in which, in this stage, we blindly believe what others say, and we feel we are not capable of doing a lot of things, we depend on others. But as we grow, we understand that what ideas, philosophies, what concepts that have been given by our parents or the society or the elders, we need not follow everything, because we have our own brain which is matured enough to generate its own ideas, to have individual thoughts and opinion. And the poet feels that he has understood this because he has lost his childhood. He's matured. He has understood the hypocrisy of the society. He has understood that he has his own individuality and a rational thinking. And the poet feels that his childhood has gone to a very forgotten place from where it can never return back. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found this video useful, and also by going through this poem by Marcus Nathan, you revisited your own childhood. I am pretty sure you had similar questions when you were children.